Welcome back to the show, and it's been a very spiritual start, should we say, talking about the different types of things we're going to do. But we're going to be speaking to some inspirational gentlemen this afternoon. And let me just tell you a little bit about the foundation. It's the Islamic Welfare Association of South Africa. Their story starts back in 2016 with a group of friends who wanted to help make a difference in their surrounding communities for those people less fortunate than themselves. They started off in the back of a car handing out 15 packets of groceries and 5 bags of oranges with the intention to set off and help feed those in need of food. And as time progressed, with the help of the Almighty, they were able to start cooking and distributing hot meals for the homeless. And they're going to be on the line with me. I have Brother Abdul Khan and Mohammed Bhamjee, and they're going to be giving us some insight into their organization and the differences they've made in people's lives. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining me on the Nafisa Dango show this afternoon.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having us on the show this afternoon, firstly.
Abdul, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us this afternoon. It's great to see people like yourselves wanting to go out and make differences. So let's start with you, Mohammed. Pin out a journey to us. How did all this begin? I want our listeners and our viewers to understand how important it is for us to, of course, give back in many directions.
Well, of course, giving back is the main objective. And how it began, I think you kind of went over it already. We started off as youngsters, identifying a need in our surrounding community, and obviously looking at the disparity that we have in our lives compared to what others have out there. And that is when we decided, instead of just joining the older generation and merely helping, why don't we try and take a stand and do it ourselves? Because we are the future, essentially. And about 5 years ago, this is what we did. And shukr alhamdulillah, it's just been growing every year since then.
I think that's phenomenal, and that's the whole idea. Is the more you reach out, the better it is. Abdul, let's talk to you about your interaction in this and how you joined up and what it means for you to be able to get up every single day, knowing that you belong to an organization that's full of upliftment, should we say?
Jazakallah firstly, Nafisa. I think the main thing is we are so lucky that we have been chosen by Allah Ta'ala to do this work. So that brings us joy every day to be helping someone else, helping people, helping make a difference in people's lives. You know what I'm saying? My role in this, I could say, is that, like you stated, that as a group of friends, we saw, and Mohammed said, we saw a need for people, a need to help people, and we are the future. Yes, the older generation are going out there and doing their work, but as time goes on, we're going to need people to take over. We're going to need someone to continue the legacy, to continue with the work that we have been chosen to do. So for us, I think the main thing is that we are blessed and to be doing this work.
I so agree with you. It's and I like the idea that you say you've been chosen by the Almighty to fulfill this purpose. And this is what I always believe in, is that every single one of us has been left here with a purpose. And I think upliftment is one of the most important things. Mohammed, from your side, talk to us a little bit about the organization and what sort of needs do you go into the communities, define and then fulfill as far as upliftment is concerned.
Okay, well, obviously South Africa being a country where we see a good amount of poverty in and around our communities. I mean, Islamically, we also say charity should begin from home. That is something very important. So we go out and look at people on the streets. I mean, that was our first point of target, because no one would really take a bunch of youngsters very seriously to say, hey, we want to do this. So we had to prove ourselves. So we first went out onto the streets and helped the people in our immediate community. The guy you'd see at the robot, people sleeping on the streets. I mean, they're human beings too. A lot of people feel we add, or by giving these people, you add into a problem. But we look at it in a different aspect. That person's risk was basically just provided to them by you. We merely the vessel.
Mm.
Um, so we've now grown to a point where we can now go in service places like old age homes who do not get enough aid,
Mm.
um, orphanages, all the rest. That's basically what we do. We haven't tried to overcomplicate it in any way. Inshallah, I mean, with the help of many more people, if we could grow this, and due to platforms like this and the opportunity that you're giving us right now, we may be able to generate that and obviously maybe identify bigger needs in our community that we could attend to.
Mm.
But
I
for
like
now, I
your
think
idea of charity begins at home, and I think that's so apt because a lot of the times people actually go out of their own communities in their own areas to be able to serve, but not realizing that there's a need within their own community and that your neighbor could possibly be going without a meal for the day. So, Abdul, what do you feel about this? How's your take on the involvement that you're in at the moment, and what you see going forward? Like Mohammed says, he sees you doing a lot more going forward. But for me, I like the idea of your community interaction beginning from where you're at, because I say a lot of the times that's where the gap needs to be bridged in the first instance.
So we did have a discussion, Nafisa. This actually only started off as an annual Ramadan thing, where we
Mm.
do this during Ramadan only. And as time went on, we saw that there is a need for constant thing to be carrying on, where we need to be helping people constantly. And our 5-year plan, as if I can put it as that, is that inshallah we would like to continue this as a monthly thing and throughout the year, because the areas that we have identified are really, really struggling, you know,
Mm.
um, especially the orphanages, the old age homes. There's a lot of female orphanages as well, so we know that yes, it's Ramadan. We are able to do charity in Ramadan, but it can't only be in Ramadan. We have to be there
Mm.
to help people throughout. So our strategy going forward now is that inshallah, with the help of the Almighty, that we will continue doing this once a month and targeting areas, firstly starting in our own, and inshallah, as things grows with the donations of people and the help of people, not only monetary but physical as well, to help us go out into other areas that are a little further, we would like to do that as well. But as
Mm.
Mohammed said, we are focusing on our area and our surrounding areas. And inshallah, when once time goes, we'd like to expand and help those as much as we can.
Right. Talk to me about your team, Mohammed. Is it just the two of you or the other young people that are also getting involved in being able to understand the importance of having to uplift and empower? And it's also about giving people their dignity back. There's Sheikh Musabeya Umar Habibshi. He's saying, mashallah, thanks, brother Mohammed. Many Muslims are happy so far. They got all their hampers. So this is coming from the Sheikh. That's the message from him to you to say that they're really appreciative of what you're doing. And I think that's what it's about. I think the fulfillment you get just from hearing that is more than enough to keep you wanting to go any further.
Of course. Firstly, Jazakallah Sheikh Umar for that. Makes us very happy. Nafisa, back to what you asked, would it just be the two of us? Definitely not. I think a lot of people don't understand how much of time, effort, and planning goes into a simple thing like maybe just cooking a pot of food and distributing hot meals to people.
Sure.
We have, and as you can see, we have an absolute crew of guys, and we promote any of the youngsters or anybody within our age group to join us because, I mean, what better to do or to occupy
Mm.
yourself with in Ramadan apart from this here, which is what we're doing. So you would need quite a lot of people, and if there is anyone watching this that would want to help us going forward, we would greatly appreciate it. So we're just a bunch of friends that came together, a lot of differences of opinions, but somehow we make it work. And
Mm.
shukr alhamdulillah, like Abdul has said earlier, we've been chosen, and that's the way we look at it, that it's not us that's doing it. We're just merely the vessel that's getting the work done. And I think with that attitude, you can go very, very far with something like this.
For sure. Abdul, on your side, I mean, we're talking about getting other people to interact and of course, go out there and help make differences and change lives for the better. What would you tell people your age out there? Because, I mean, I think a lot of people sit on a couch on a Saturday afternoon and think, okay, what is it that I can do in Ramadan? But not realizing that this little goes such a long way and what it means to these people by giving them. I mean, we spoke to so many NPOs, and the biggest word that came out from there is giving them their dignity back.
Correct, correct. So, Nafisa, the thing is, what I'd like to tell to people my age, our age, and younger is that go out and do it yourself. Yes, I understand giving money financially, giving money to an organization, you are helping them, but when you do it yourself, when you see that smile on someone's face, when you
Mm,
see when a person tells you like, thank you so much for helping me, you, that you can't even explain the feeling you get that you help someone with a meal or someone with groceries and things like that. And to the youth, we are young, we are still young. Mohammed and I are still young. We can still say that we have the energy to do this. But
mm,
as we get older, we're going to need people to come along and take over from us.
for
Start
sure.
now. Do it now. Go out, get help. Besides the reward you are going to get help, but the feeling you will get by doing that work is unexplainable.
I so agree with you. Mohammed, from your side, where do you see your organization heading to in the future? What sort of endeavors do you see yourself getting on, besides, of course, the distribution of meals and giving people blankets during the winter period? What sort of other things would you like to see yourself getting involved with?
Um, okay, look, we don't know what rate we'd grow at. Inshallah, with the Almighty's help, it could be exponentially and very quickly. Um, if you want to know the end goal of what we'd want to get to, essentially, apart from meals and that, I think our main focus one day, inshallah, would be to be able to send someone who cannot afford a Hajj, to send them on a trip to fulfill their duty. If we, as the Islamic Welfare Organization of South Africa, well, started off by youth, could do that, I think we've basically reached the pinnacle. I don't think there's anything more than allowing someone to complete a pillar of Islam. I mean, I really don't see anything further than that.
Wow, you've blown me away there.
That
Uh,
was
I
it.
can, I can see very young people, but with a very defined goal and a very defined outlook to life to see what it is that you can do. And sending for somebody for Hajj is a phenomenal idea because the rewards in it alone is a thousandfold. So it speaks for itself. Abdul, from your side, what is it that you would like to see going forward besides the Hajj endeavors that you would like to do to be able to make a difference and uplift from your organization?
I think with us, it would be, like I said earlier, a constant thing. Inshallah, we'd like to grow to a point where we are able to constantly supply orphanages, old age homes, even build infrastructures or shelters for people that don't have places to stay, help people out. I think the main thing with ours was to help people out with medical things as well. As we know that during this time, there's a lot of people that do not have access to medical facilities as such, so we'd like to gather all our funds, grow to a point where we'll be able to build something where we have a station that people can come to us and we are able to help them out, whether it be only with shelter, whether it be food, whether it be stationery for kids, clothing, whatever it may be, a one spot where we can just help people. So we know that at any moment in time, someone can come to us and be like, we need your assistance. So
Mm.
that's the main thing there now.
And you know what I always talk about on my show is the Ubuntu and the unity, being able to create a unison. So maybe an idea going forward, and I always do this on my show, is try and pen out the ideas with you to be able to help you see some direction going forward, is to look at other NPOs that are doing those kinds of works and creating collaborations with them, as you were talking about health. There's an NPO that does health on a huge level where they do X-rays and dialysis and things like that. So it's maybe being able to tap into those kinds of things and see how you could collaborate. And this is what I was talking about. You know, each NPO is so unique and so fulfilling that if you actually create this unison, can you imagine how much more you can do and what sort of mountains you can move? And I'm sure Abdul would agree with me on that.
Correct. No, 100%. We did look at all the other NPOs. Like, we do know that there is a lot of organizations out there that are helping people. And when we created Iwasa, it wasn't for anything other than to assist those other organizations, you know, because we do understand that not every organization will be able to target every area, you know. There are certain areas which will get left out. So we thought, you know what, this is it. We know we are here. Let's assist these organizations in helping them while they are helping others. So, like you
I
say,
agree.
creating a union. Gee.
Mohammed, your logo just came up on screen, and I think it speaks 1,000 words. I like the idea with the small hand and the big hand together. And just what Abdul reiterated on, I want to go back to is the fact that you are reaching out with others as well to create a collaboration. And I think that sign alone speaks for itself because it's showing that you've come together, young and old, but you're also looking to expand into helping people by creating that unison. So it's an amazing logo. I must commend you on that. For young people like yourselves to be able to think on those levels says a lot. What message would you like to leave our viewers with today, Mohammed?
Okay. Firstly, I cannot, myself and the crew cannot take all credit for the logo because I mean we have a good team around us and everybody has their own, well, we could say duties. So we'll have to thank, well, if I may, I have to thank Brother Azir for creating that logo for us. Took us a long time to get to that. A message to your viewers, guys, please. Firstly, we have an Instagram account. Follow us on Instagram to see everything that we do, everything that we plan to do going forward. We have a lot of ideas, but obviously these ideas come with the challenges of time, money. But inshallah, we can overcome them with the help of the viewers, everyone who's watching today. And more than anything else, I mean, we would like the assistance of maybe bigger NPOs. I mean, we are still very, very small in this whole scheme of things. So we have yet a lot to learn. When it comes to distributing of hot meals, I think we've got that covered. But we have a lot to learn, and we would love to maybe partner up, as you said, with someone else. If this platform allows for something like that, please, guys, drop us a message. We are more than willing to do something. And I think our greatest challenge lies now after the Ramadan period. Because we find that as a Muslim community, we give a lot to Ramadan. And it's a very admirable thing. But we tend to forget out of Ramadan. So we want to try and break that and keep it going. I mean, if we could do this on a weekly basis within out of Ramadan, I mean, it would be brilliant. So the community could come forward to us and say, guys, we need help here. And we can make it happen. So if there is anybody watching us, the viewers, if you know of an area, a community, an old age home, an orphanage that needs assistance, whether it be financially, whether they need whatever it is they need, any sort of resources they would require, please come forward to us. Islamic Welfare SA on Instagram. We do not have any other platform. We generally go just about social media. It's how we always have. And please come forward to us and let us make a difference. Together we really can.
For sure. Abdul, on your side, what message would you like our viewers to be left with this afternoon?
I think just for the viewers, I'd say please get involved, whether it be with Iwasa or any other organization in your area or wherever it may be. get involved in charity work. A lot of charity organizations need assistance, not monetary, but physical assistance, whether it may be once a week, twice a week, or whenever you're free. Go and assist them. Go and find out from neighbors, from the people in your area, how you can assist them. That, I think, the main thing is for the youth. Please get involved with charity work. There's a lot of help that's needed there.
Most definitely. And I so agree with you because there's always been that gap. And it's so nice to see young people like yourselves getting involved with that because I think that's very important. A lot of the times, as I said before, young people actually, forget what is going on around them and they get cocooned and they don't realize the importance of having to make a difference in someone's life. And I think that is what is important. It's about going out and making those differences in people's lives. And I was just trying to find a saying by Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It says the ones that benefit the most are those that give to others and uplift them. And this is what it says: the best of you are those who feed others. The best of you are those who benefit the most for people. The best of you are those with the most excellent character. And the best of you are those from whose tongue and hands people are safe. So we want to commend you for being so young and going out there and definitely realizing the purposes and the essence of life. And that's what it's about, especially during this COVID-19 period. I think it's shed a lot more light on what is happening around us. And people have realized the realities that we're surrounded by and the types of environments. So for myself and the team, we want to commend you on the amazing work that you've done because a little goes a long way. And inshallah, we're hoping that you grow in many directions and you get that added support that you're looking for. But thank you so much for joining us and inspiring us this afternoon with what you do. And we're hoping that people, as you've given out your Instagram handles and your details, will get involved with you to be able to uplift and empower and give those people those dignity back and make those differences that we're looking for out there.
Nafisa, Jazakallah, thank you so much for having us. Please do, guys, at Islamic Welfare SA on Instagram. We look forward to doing a lot of work together, inshallah, in the future.
Inshallah, Ameen. And on your side, Abdul, we'd like to also thank you. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job. It's nice to see you going out there, being selfless and putting smiles on people's faces, because that's also a form of charity. So thank you so much, and we wish you nothing but the best going forward.
No, Jazakallah to you. Remember us in your du'as and make dua that we are able to continue this work.
Most definitely.
And be able to help many, many more people, inshallah.
Ameen. And as I said, thank you so much. We're quite inspired this afternoon by seeing young people like this. And this is what I always talk about on my show. We try to entice younger people to get out of those cocoons and make those differences. And you definitely are. So all the best from myself and the team. You take care of yourself and have a wonderful week.
You too.
Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak to you guys too. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abdul Khan and Mohammed Bhamjee from Islamic Welfare Association of South Africa. Definitely young people with, should we say, the right outlook, wanting to go out there and make differences in people's lives and uplift, empower, and of course, should we say, take people to better places and better places. We're going to go for a quick break and we'll be back with you in a sec.